I'm Tim Koller, and I live in Weston, Connecticut. A Better Chance is an organization that places high school students from disadvantaged backgrounds into some of the most prestigious prep schools and public high schools in the country. These are students who typically wouldn't be challenged in their local public high schools, and this is a chance for them to really show, what they can do. I got involved through one of the board members of A Better Chance. Was looking for some support and knew one of the McKinsey partners, and I had expressed some interest in getting involved in something to do with education, so I was connected with them in the early 1990s, and then I just stayed in contact informally over the next 15 years or so. Most of the students are minority students. One way to improve the incomes and wealth of the minorities, I think you need role models, and through an organization like A Better Chance, you take people from these communities, and they can go to these great prep schools, go on to great colleges and graduate schools, and become role models for their communities. A Better Chance gets the kids. They've developed a network over many years in the public high schools, primarily of teachers who recommend students, not necessarily based on grades, because many of the students may not test well, or they may not have had good grades for various reasons, and so what we're really looking for is potential that is not demonstrated in the grades or the test scores. In addition to the prep schools, a number of communities with very strong high schools also will enroll A Better Chance students. And typically what's required then, since these are not boarding schools, they need a place to live in that community. And so the way the program works is a group of community members will get together, raise money to buy a house in that community, and they then employ house parents to look after the community and do a bunch of other things to make sure that the experience of the students are good. Typically, the typical house will have either eight boys or 8 girls, and they're 2 for each grade attending the local high school. Well, it takes quite a few people to keep this organization going. So what's involved is there are some people who provide just things like driving. The kids need to get somewhere, so people drive them. Some people will there's a program whereby I think once a month the students will spend a weekend with the local family in their house, doing whatever activities the family does. So we need families to participate in that. There's ongoing fundraising that needs to get done. There's the local communities involved in the selection of students, hiring the house parents, making sure the house is maintained. So there's a lot that needs to get done. And fortunately in this community there are quite a few people who volunteered over the years to help with all these different roles. Well, one of the things that happened with A Better Chance is there's a limited number of prep schools and communities with public high schools like our community that can actually support a house. So A Better Chance grew to the point where there weren't very many spaces for students to go. So we had a lot more students who we thought had a lot of potential than we could place in the program. And so Judith Griffin, the president of A Better Chance, started a program originally as part of a Better Chance called Pathways to College, which worked within the public schools to help, once again, select a group of students and work with them to prepare them to and encourage them to go on to sort of colleges that they never would have imagined that they could have gone to before. So, for example, we've had students from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, going to the University of Chicago and stuff like that. The only way that people succeed, for the most part, is through education. And so if a big chunk of the community is not getting a decent education, they're always going to be left behind. So it's important for people, you can't always rely on someone else to do things that need to get done. So you should just, reach out and do it. And it's the right thing to do.